What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Post Pro Podcast. It's episode 39. Let's hop right into it. Movie news. Sebastian, why don't you take it away? I know you said you had a lot.
Oh, man. It's been an incredible week for movie news. I've got movie news up the wazoo. Got some incredible stuff to tell everyone about. I got two stories relating to one of the greatest actors in Hollywood right now, Mr. Dave Bautista. He's starring in Zack Snyder's new Army of the Dead movie, and the trailer for that came out today. And fun fact about that movie, it's the first time Mr. Snyder has shot a full movie in digital. So that's pretty cool. Fun fact. And then I went down a really weird Twitter rabbit hole with this movie today. I was just like, I saw the trailer came out, so I went on Twitter, and people like worship Zack Snyder on Twitter, and it's very creepy. It's very creepy. And
people also hate Zack Snyder on Twitter. I mean, like everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, but I was going down the worship rabbit hole, and there's all these people that like cocksuck him on Twitter, and it's just
it's not fun to look at. It's like staring into the abyss.
It's very bewildering. So anyway,
I don't know. That's not that baffling to me. It's Twitter.
No. Some of the tweets are just weird, dude.
It's not baffling. It's just it's still not fun to look at.
Sure,
it's like one of those it's like a train wreck. It's like it's not surprising that the train exploded, but it's still hard to look away.
Exactly. So anyway, it looks interesting, and it actually does look. The cinematography looks pretty nice. So I mean, I'll watch it. It's going to Netflix. Why not?
Is that going to be related to his
I feel like it'll be decently fun.
Living Dead or whatever it was?
You mean Dawn of the Dead?
Dawn of the Dead remake he did?
It's a prequel.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. Someone's mowing the lawn outside. Anyway, moving on. So I have another story involving our man Dave Bautista. And this one is going to absolutely shock everyone here on the podcast. I'm going to get some incredible reactions in about 5 seconds.
Good thing we're recording.
Mr. Paul W.S. Anderson is making a George R.R. Martin adaptation called In the Lost Land, starring none other than Mila Jovovich.
Wow.
And Mr. Dave Bautista. Isn't that incredible? What a cast.
That's really exciting.
I don't know how this guy keeps getting movies made. I mean, he just
the fact that he just got...
It's like a king of shock. I mean, come on.
He also just got a George R.R. Martin story, too, which is pretty...
Like, how much money did Monster Hunter lose? Like, how is he still making movies?
This was probably, already in the works for them.
Already, all I got to say about this movie is it's basically... This is just going to be it in a nutshell. It's dumb fun, guys. Turn your brain off. Okay, so moving on. Adam Sandler actually wants to make a Happy Gilmore sequel following the little events on Twitter that happened. Not even joking. He's
what happened on Twitter?
Quitting. So last week on Twitter, he challenged. Again, I haven't watched Happy Gilmore in ages, but the guy that plays his rival in Happy Gilmore, he challenged him on Twitter. He was like, "Hey guys, I can still swing," and fucking Adam Sandler hits a ball, and he actually does a really good swing. And then the villain of Happy Gilmore responded to him on Twitter and was like, "Hey man, I still got it too." And then he did his little thing in his living room or whatever. And now Adam Sandler's like, "You know what? Let's make a Happy Gilmore sequel."
Nice. Nice.
Sure.
If it happens, it happens. But I'd be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised, actually. I mean,
no.
The little interaction that he had on Twitter was actually kind of cool. It was kind of heartwarming a little bit. It was just seeing Adam Sandler swing and actually still good at golf. I don't know. Why not? Sure. Anyway, moving on. Danny Elfman is working on a new sci-fi movie starring Mr. Adam Driver, and he's calling it. He's been scoring this fantasy action movie called 65.
65.
We got 9, we got 65, we got 2012, now we got 65. It's pretty cool. So, anyway, whatever.
Quadrilogy.
I mean, I like Danny Elfman. I like his music. So, he's got Adam Driver. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Sure. But this is the one I really want to talk about here. I really want to talk about this one. I just don't know what to think about this. Okay, guys, here we go. Wesley Snipes not involved in MCU's Blade, so he's making his own Blade killer movie instead.
Really?
What the fuck?
Yeah. So the article talks about how Wesley and Snipes is like, since I'm not in this new Blade movie, I'm just gonna make my own. And he's let's see. Crazy. I don't have any involvement, but I support the young artists and I support Marvel and their business decisions. It's a beautiful thing. Mahershala Ali has got a heck of a job on his hands. He said, we were white belts then. Wait until you see now what we do with the black belts. Going into a new action movie is going to smoke all of the Blade stuff. What is the project? It's what we call our Blade killer, our Blade on steroids, Snipes said. And we set our character in the world of shapeshifters and a little bit of time travel. But the action is going to be, well, black belt action.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't know what to think about that either.
Either way, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool.
He's just like, no Blade ending for me. I'm just gonna fucking make my own Blade movie.
Is he going to be directing or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's making his own
Good for
fucking
him.
movie.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey.
So yeah, Wesley's.
They should release both movies at the same time. And then
That'd be fucking incredible. That'd be like the John Wick and Matrix 4, which is not happening anymore. But goddamn, that would have been cool. What a day that would have been. And then I don't know if anyone here cares, but there's a shit ton of like Paramount Plus announcements.
Saw a lot of that, yeah.
I mean,
Rugrats.
it's one of those things where like I've seen it, but I do not care. Like,
Rugrats.
Yeah,
Avatar is getting like a new Avatar Airbender is getting a new movie. Workaholics.
the big one I saw was that Mission Impossible 7 and A Quiet Place 2 are going to premiere on
like right after
5 days after its theatrical
Wow,
release.
I did not see that.
And then another one I saw. Shit, where is it? I saw another interesting thing that they were going to throw on there. Oh well, whatever. Paramount Plus, guys. Another streaming service to buy.
Probably not. I'll go see Mission Impossible and A Quiet Place 2 in theaters and then not get Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Because they're morphing CBS Access into Paramount Plus. So you're basically getting all of CBS Access with Paramount Plus, but I just don't fucking care because the only good ones worth having are HBO Max and Netflix.
Mm.
Right now.
Definitely. Netflix. It's a great streaming service that everyone loves.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, I like Netflix, but then Disney Plus. Disney Plus is okay. Disney Plus is okay. Anyway, that's all I got. Nothing really game-breaking happening this week in the world of movie news.
Well, I'm surprised you kind of didn't mention, this is the big one I thought. Spider-Man 3.
I don't give a fuck about Spider-Man 3.
Well, I mean, just the whole promotional towards it I thought was kind of funny. You know, it's not Phone Home. It's not Spider-Man Home Wrecker. It's not Spider-Man
Home Slice. That would have been the best one.
But it is Spider-Man No Way Home. I kind of like it. I thought the promotion
That's solid.
was fun.
No, I just don't care.
Yeah, me neither. I'm honestly kind of surprised Sebastian's on my side with this one because this is normally the type of thing I would say about it.
Cool.
Sebastian's definitely a Team DC now.
I've always been Team DC. Dude.
Yeah, but you're even more Team DC.
Snyder Cut.
Dude, I've wanted Snyder Cut for a long fucking time.
I know.
I'm just gonna be honest, man. I'm so fucking excited to watch it. I'm so close. I finally get this. Oh man, Jesus Joker. That's one thing I didn't know. Jesus Joker.
Jesus Joker.
Yeah, we're getting whatever the fuck that is, dude. I don't know what the context behind that was. What the hell Zack Snyder's thinking? I don't know.
Yeah. Like with everything that like gets released with that, I'm like becoming more like morbidly excited by it, which is kind of surprising even to me.
What the fuck was that?
I mean,
it could
just. It's probably just like a I don't know, just a cool picture to get the people riled.
Here's the
No,
scene.
like, I agree. Whatever.
Here's the scene. Batman they're doing an interrogation scene with Joker. Batman walks in. I'm the Messiah, Batman. I'm reborn.
30 Seconds to Mars, like
it starts.
The kill starts like.
That would actually be incredible. I would love that. That'd be awesome.
And there you go. That's the scene.
God.
Zack Snyder cements himself as the greatest director ever. Fuck.
Oh man, that'd be insane.
Anyway,
I had a couple other things. One being that A24 just acquired the rights, the North American distribution rights to Sean Baker's next film, which is described as a porn star comedy. So
sounds great.
Is Riley Reid in it?
Have no idea. But it's called Red Rocket. So take that as you will.
So it's about dog's dick.
I hope not. Then, of course, this is pretty big news as well. Actually, premiering tomorrow, we got Tom and Jerry, guys.
God, I forgot about that.
Tom and Jerry.
Wait, that comes out tomorrow?
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's every single one of these things, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that is coming out tomorrow. Like for the HBO Max announcements. I'm like, keep blindsiding me. But yeah, I'm probably going to watch that one. Obviously.
Yeah, I'll probably, maybe not tomorrow, but I'll watch it eventually.
Yeah. Although I said I was going to watch The Little Things, and then I never did. And I have like 2
yeah,
days
well,
left to watch it.
you're not missing out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thomas and Noah had any movie news?
I actually remember
No.
I tried to save the Sean Baker thing, but it got lost in my red save, I guess. So, but then you mentioned it, and that's what I was gonna say.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that worked out.
Worked out pretty good. So I guess with that, we will move on to what we watched this week. Who wants to start it off?
Dude, I'll just knock it out, man, because I didn't do shit this week.
All right.
To be honest. I watched this incredible film. I don't know if you guys have heard. It's called Fast and Furious, and it's starring Paul Rudd and Diesel Vin,
Yeah.
and
Diesel.
it's really emotional, and it really just packs a lot of punches, and it's really just got some great action. I'm just kidding. I fucking hated this movie. It was trash. This is definitely the worst one so far that we have watched. It was dog shit. Thomas, you should have been there. It was a pure, just it made no sense. And then, of course, after we finished the movie, was it Jordan or was it Casey? He's like, oh, by the way, there's a short film for this movie. And I'm like,
It was Jordan.
Yeah, he's like, oh, by the way, there's a prequel short film to this movie. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And sure enough, it's in the menu, Los Banderos or some shit, which I'll have to watch.
Directed by Vin Diesel.
And apparently he just makes out with Michelle Rodriguez the entire time. So, I mean,
It's pretty cool.
Cool for him. So anyway, yeah, that movie sucked. The movie was awful. So anyway, moving on. I watched Escape from New York, a John Carpenter classic. I haven't watched it in a long time. So yeah, a great fucking movie. Love it. It's just a 80s testosterone fueled fucking trip. I love
It's
it.
like prima 80s. It's so
just
good.
so good. It's amazing. And then I watched Maltese Falcon. There we go, guys. Incredible week I had.
Nice.
All right, we'll continue on the train of quick weeks. Rewatched The Prestige, which is pretty
Prestige?
good. Yeah.
Wait, are you serious? I
Yeah.
was 5 seconds away from rewatching The Prestige this week. And if I had more time, I think I probably would.
God,
That's
man.
so crazy. That's such a weird coincidence.
It's so good.
Yeah, no, it's so crazy. I think I liked it quite a bit more this time. Like, just I feel like a lot of, especially earlier Nolan, I guess, with like Memento 2, there's a lot to know if you like know the story beats and all that, and like
once you see it, once you see it like more than once, you just notice every single time you watch it, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Especially with The Prestige, it's a good one. It's a good one to rewatch
Because of its like
there's just so many
20 twists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I legitimately, the first time I watched that movie, spoiler alert, guys, skip ahead if you don't want to get this Prestige spoiled for you. I honestly didn't realize that Christian Bale was playing the other character. Like I had no fucking idea. Like I literally I wasn't paying attention to him.
I think I did either.
Yeah, I wasn't paying
remember.
attention to him at all because like every time he would be on the screen as like the butler character, whatever he is, he'd be there for like 10 seconds. I really didn't get like a chance to like observe him, but even then I wasn't looking at him. And then at the end of the movie, I was like, holy shit! Oh my god, it was him all along. Like, yeah, I mean, like shit like that.
It's a great film.
It is.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Truly. Then Maltese Falcon.
Nice.
Maltese.
There we go.
Look at us, dude. Look at us.
Well,
All right.
I'll hop on this train of continuing our short movie watches. Short movie week watches. Short movie count week watches. Short weekly movie count watch. Okay, there we go. Short weekly movie count watches. Okay,
Glad you got that figured out. Yeah.
Oh wow, you had a really what?
Yeah, this is a new low for Noah, if you will.
I don't know
Are
if
you feeling okay, dude? You doing all right?
I told you before I recorded, this has been a busy week for me. Come on. I've also been watching a lot of The Leftovers on HBO Max, starting like a month ago or so.
Oh, you're watching The Leftovers?
Yeah, I'm like almost done at this point. So maybe my weekly movie what? Fuck.
Have you
Whatever.
watched The
We'll go on
Sopranos?
next week. I have not watched. Okay, so funny story about The Sopranos. I've seen the pilot episode 3 times, and I've seen the second and third episodes 1 time each, and that's all I've seen of The Sopranos.
Yeah, they keep going, dude.
Yeah, I know,
Incredible
but like
show.
every time, like every couple of months, I'm like, should really watch The Sopranos, and I watch the pilot. I'm like, it's great. I've seen it before. It's great.
We gotta keep going.
Yeah,
And
they
then
got that
just
prequel
the-
film coming out later this year too. So
Excuse
Does
me?
not sound fun.
you guys haven't heard of that? The prequel Sopranos movie?
No.
You must be shitting me.
Yeah.
Why would I make that up? I haven't even
Oh,
seen The Sopranos.
God, no.
It's starring James Gandolfini's son,
Oh,
Yeah, I
God.
remember that.
Oh,
called
no.
The Saints of Newark or something like that.
Oh, well, I don't have high hopes for that at all. Fuck.
Many Saints of Newark. That's what it is. Yeah.
I had no idea they were actually trying to cash in on Sopranos shit. Well,
Coming out on HBO Max. I
They're
don't
doing
know.
that on like everything.
it might be good. Might be good, but I
I
mean, The
doubt
Sopranos is good as is, so.
Doubt it'll be as good as the pilot.
The pilot is fucking phenomenal. It truly is. Like, Oof, but keep watching. It's good.
I don't know. Maybe I will. I have to watch the
You
pilot
should.
again.
No, you would
Maybe I
fucking
will,
love it.
though.
You would fucking love it. It's really good.
I mean, like I said,
Noah's gonna watch the pilot 10 times before he finishes.
there's
the
just
show.
there's just something very daunting about watching like 6 seasons of, and then the
Yeah,
leftovers
that's
is
true.
like 3 seasons. They're like 10 episodes.
Yeah, and
each.
the ending is just, it's phenomenal. But anyway.
That's what I've heard. So yeah. Anyway. So starting off, Judas and the Black Messiah, which Sebastian talked about, and Collin. Actually, I think Collin and I watched it on like the same
Yeah.
day.
Speaking of
We were going back to
coincidences,
back.
when I was logging it, I saw that you would just watch, and I was like, oh, hey, no, watch that. Cool.
Nice. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I don't think I liked it as much as Sebastian. I mean, I guess I don't think Collin did either, honestly. Yeah, I honestly think it's one of those movies where like the central performances are much stronger than anything else about them, and even like the supporting performances, honestly, which I guess is maybe a testament to the directing. It's like every single performance is really good. But I guess basically my main problem was with the script, which doesn't really give a lot of characterization. But I don't know.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
It's just a really good way to start the year off.
Yeah, I certainly get that. Yeah, and for my first film, it was pretty good, honestly. I don't know. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, just like a lot of biopics have a tendency to like retell events, but to not invest in characters because they're like, oh well, we don't actually like know why this person acted the way they did. We just kind of know like what they did, so that we can only really show what they did instead of like inventing a reason why they did it. Which honestly, I just prefer you invent a reason or go with like the most likely reason or whatever. So I think that's basically my main problem. But I mean, I still liked it.
Do you mean about Lakeith Stanfield's character?
Honestly, like with either of them, like either Fred Hampton or O'Neill is I think Lakeith's character's name.
Yeah.
Go on now.
I mean, both of them had like somewhat unclear motivation, just like textually. Obviously, if you like look at like what really happened, like it's kind of clear to understand a lot more about their characters. But if you're just watching the movie and you don't have a lot of background, which I guess I don't have like a lot of background. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just kind of like, yeah, like Lakeith Stanfield betrayed Fred Hampton because that's what happened in real life. And Fred Hampton was a revolutionary because he was. And there isn't really a lot of thought put into that. I don't even know if that's right there. I think it was just more focused on the performances than anything else. Which is fine. Whatever. Like I said, I liked it. But yeah, whatever. Honestly, these next two were kind of weirdly similar, even though I didn't necessarily go with that in mind. So Star Trek, the motion picture, and Tron Legacy are both like movies that I like. I actually rewatched Tron. I did not rewatch Star Trek because I have not seen it before. But they're both like, they work a lot better on like a visual and what do you call it, audio, oral level. And they have like great, like incredible scores and like weird groundbreaking effects that kind of like shape the next decade of just like science fiction in general. But the plots of both are completely incoherent, and like Tron Legacy is just like straight up bad in a lot of ways, and the motion picture is just like a lot of, it's literally just like a lot of like Like you'll have like a 5-minute scene of just like a bunch of visual effects happening, and the crew silently like staring at it and reacting, and it's great. It's honestly, it's just like, oh wow, and like you can do this as a movie and it still works. So I kind of liked both of them for similar reasons. Although if you actually like, I guess like if you read the novelization, you would be like, this sucks. Like this is awful for either one. But what are you gonna do? Then I watched the Maltese Falcon. So yeah.
All right.
There we go.
So that'll bring it to me. I actually had kind of a big week. Started it off.
Really breaking the trend, I see.
Started it off with what I was hoping to be a fun, light, easy watch. I've always wanted to watch this. Reefer Madness from 1938, the anti-marijuana propaganda movie.
Dude, I'm gonna clock out, man.
It's like I was hoping it would be fun in a like a really bad way, but it's just bad. It's just really bad. There's nothing to it. I mean, there's nothing.
Is it 2.0 on Letterboxd?
Dude, please give me some examples of stuff they were saying in this movie. I want to know. I want to hear it.
The most extreme examples were definitely saying that like marijuana is more dangerous than like meth and heroin.
The fuck?
Yeah. That was
this was like 70 years ago. Like, come on.
I know, but that's funny as fuck still.
Yeah. So like, it opens up as a parent-teacher like meeting. So there's like the school dean or whatever, and he's really grilling these parents about. He's like, you gotta, tell your children that marijuana can turn you into a sex crazed maniac who will go on killing sprees, and it's more dangerous than heroin and stuff.
What year was this?
38. And then he goes.
So this was kind of also like an anti. I don't want to say this if it's not true. It's kind of like anti black people also, because this was kind of like a stereotype at the time for all the.
It's made in the 30s. I mean, almost every 30s movie is like that, right?
I mean, there aren't any black actors in the movie, so I can't say that it portrays them in a negative light.
Interesting. I was just going to assume. Anyway, move on.
No, it doesn't even address race. And
that's interesting.
It's honestly better than addressing race in
exactly.
way.
Yeah. But so then the whole story is a big flashback about what happened to this one kid who got involved with weed and ended up killing multiple people actually. It was just bad. It was just bad. I mean, there's nothing really to say. It was just dumb and bad, but not fun.
Incredible.
Watched this documentary short on Netflix called The Speed Cubers about competitive Rubik's Cube people, which was honestly pretty good. Like I wasn't expecting it to be so interesting and like heartfelt too, but I liked it. I was actually like the main people it focused on, its subjects were pretty interesting, and I am pretty envious about how fast they can solve a Rubik's Cube.
Everyone go watch Feels Good Man. It's on streaming now. Go watch it.
Just because it's a documentary.
Yeah, just because it's a documentary. Thank you, Sebastian, for that advertisement.
Oh, of course, I'm paid shrill.
Yeah, there you go.
You're getting paid for this?
So that means we can split the ad revenue, like amongst
right?
all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. But yeah, Speed Tubers, pretty good movie. I watched The Judas and the Black Messiah. Noah already touched on that. I thought it was pretty good as well. Performance is obviously really solid. Daniel Kaluuya was definitely the standout in my opinion. But like Noah also mentioned, the script I thought lacked a little depth and characterization, especially in Keith Stanfield's character. It just showed him doing things, but it never, like Noah mentioned, really got into why and all. I mean, there were obviously some really good moments. I thought it was really well paced, looked really nice.
Yep.
But yeah, not a perfect script. Still solid though. After that, like Sebastian mentioned, Fast and Furious. And I have to agree with you, Sebastian. This was the worst one thus far. I don't know how they can keep getting worse, but they do.
I have a feeling this next one's going to be fucking good.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be the best one.
It's why they're regarded as the best one.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see Fast 5. But Fast and Furious, just bad. And Gal Gadot is just really bad in this movie.
Yeah, she is. But she's hot as fuck.
Worst part of the movie.
But she's some good eye candy. That's the only thing I was investing in the entire movie. I was like, damn, she's looking good.
Sure, yeah, I mean, I guess. But her accent changed at least 20 times, which was hilarious. Oh my gosh, it was such a bad performance. Anyway.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So after that, I'd been wanting to watch this movie for a long time, and I saw it was on Mubi. I had that 7-day trial of Mubi, and I went to cancel it, right? Because my 7 days was up, and it said, still not completely satisfied. Well, you can get 30 days free. And I said, okay. So why
not?
Yeah, so I lengthened my free trial. So I watched the 2-part film series, Gangs of Wasseypur, which is a Bollywood gangster.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about this.
Yeah. And it is pretty epic. I mean, it takes place from 1940 all the way through 2009, showcasing the family feud of sorts between two rival gang families and all the crime and deception and betrayals and killings and other stuff that happens. And I have to say, I was pretty impressed. This is my first delve into Bollywood cinema, and I'd only seen like real clips of like the goofy, really exaggerated stuff, right? So I was hoping that this wasn't going to be, luckily it wasn't. It's super stylized. Like there's a lot of slow motion, like, the real cool scenes of them with like aviators walking in the blistering heat, slow motion stuff and stuff.
So like the Reservoir Dogs fucking intro.
Cool. Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of that stuff with like Indian pop music playing over it. But honestly, somehow it works. Somehow it all works. And it's actually really cool. These were really well-paced movies, and there's a lot of stuff that happens. And luckily, it does a pretty good job at keeping all the characters distinguishable. So because there's a ton of them. I mean, there's a ton of them. It goes through like 3 or 4 generations of characters here. And you're able to keep track of most of them in a pretty solid way. I liked the second part better than the first part, just marginally. I thought it was better paced than the first one, because both of them are like near 3-hour movies.
So it is The Godfather.
People like the Bollywood Godfather film.
Well, yeah, because part 2 is better than part 1 by marginally. Marginally. That's how I feel about The Godfathers. Exact same way.
I still got to see Godfather Part 2.
Dude, I'm shocked that you've seen a Bollywood like Godfather before you've seen Godfather 1 and 2.
I've seen the first Godfather.
Yeah, it's great. But
I just watched The Godfather 2 a couple months ago. 2
is fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, well, I got to get on it. But yeah, Gangs of Wasseypur, really good. And honestly, I was happy that they turned out to be like, I think a good comparison to these would be like, this is comparable to City of God, like the Bollywood version of City of God.
I saw that you logged that and rated it highly, and I was like, must be like City of God.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a foreign, like crime heavy film.
Yeah. I think I personally like City of God better, but these were still pretty good. I liked them. I enjoyed them.
Oh, and the poster was very much like, see what you like this.
Yeah. After that, we finished off our Hitchcock series in my film class with The Birds. And let me tell you guys, this was like the worst ending to a Hitchcock series that could have happened. I hated The Birds. I thought it was so bad.
It's something, yeah.
I went in hoping for like light, campy, like horror fun, but it takes itself way too seriously, and it's just drowning in opera levels of melodrama.
Hey man, at least we got Birdemic, okay?
Yeah, well, this was definitely better than Birdemic. I'll say that. But man, like there's like 2 good sequences in this movie. There's the infamous gas station sequence, and then the final, and then the finale, the set piece of the finale. Solid Hitchcockian tension. They both look really nice, but all the rest, I mean, like the performances weren't even good, and the writing and the pacing, and considering this came after Psycho, North by Northwest, and Vertigo, it made it even like all the more disappointing, because I was just like, dang, he did those 3 films, which are like great, and then comes out with this. But yeah, so
yeah, but most people like it too.
Most people do like it, but I wonder, like, had it not been directed by Hitchcock, I don't think people would have liked it. I
think honestly, I was thinking about this recently, just thinking about Psycho, how like I don't think it necessarily holds up per se, but I think like especially if you had seen it for the first time in 1960, and I think this is true for a lot of Hitchcock movies.
Yeah.
It's just like both groundbreaking and also like there's just like a lot of stuff that like you would not have seen, like period.
Right.
Both
Yeah.
in terms of, like,
You could say the same about a lot of movies, like Halloween. Like I'm sure you guys have a different opinion on Halloween than I do. You know.
Yeah. But I think like both in terms of like visual imagery, like the shower scene and everything, but also just in terms of like the way the plot is structured. Like, you know, it's not that unusual for like in Psycho, like for today, for, you know, you to be following 2 different characters at the same time. But I'm sure in I guess like one character and then another. But I'm sure in 1960 that would have been like, whoa. And that's why it's so
naked booties,
and of course, like the themes and graphic nature and everything too. Like in The Birds, there was a pretty cool, pretty graphic portrayal of a death in the farmhouse. The guy was dead. He had blood all over his face. His eyes were gouged out, glass everywhere. And I was like, yo, I bet someone fainted in theaters when they saw that in '63. Yeah. But I don't know. Overall, I just really...
It's his weakest movie. It is.
Oh, have you seen it, Sebastian?
I've seen most Hitchcock. The only Hitchcock movie I have not seen is... I'm missing one. I know I'm missing only one. I've seen Psycho, I've seen Virgo, I've seen Birds.
Seen Rope?
Nope, that's it.
I mean, I'm sure there are several others you haven't seen. Making stuff from the 20s.
The Pleasure Garden, The Mountain Eagle, The Ring, Downhill.
Seen
Man, The Lady Vanishes, Foreign Correspondent.
Maybe there's a couple I haven't seen, but I've seen a lot.
Yeah, he does have 62 directed films. So
I have a box set of Hitchcock movies. I've seen a lot.
Oh, no, I don't. I'm sure you've seen more than all of us.
But yeah.
Honestly, I didn't know he did that fucking many. I've only seen I've seen probably like 20. I've seen probably like 20, 25.
Wow. Yeah, because he made it like a solid handful of movies before even coming over to Hollywood.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his like short shit. But yeah, I like Hitchcock, but yeah, The Birds is pretty much everything you're saying with I'm agreeing with. I really it's something.
So yeah, after The Birds, in my other film class, Film History 2, it was documentary week. So we were required to watch a Frederick Wiseman documentary called Hospital, and I looked on Canopy and it had like all of his first movies. So I said, why not watch them all? So I watched, yeah, I know. I really did. I watched Titty Cut Follies, High School, Law and Order, and Hospital. And I'd seen High School actually before. I think I talked about it on the podcast sometime last year. Titty Cut Follies is about a mental institution. And so I guess I should, like his, Frederick Wiseman's style is very fly on the wall, very observant. There's no interviews, no text on screen. There's no like introduction. It's just boom, here you are here with the cameraman essentially, and you are just seeing things as they're being shot. So it's very immersive in that sense, and they're pretty interesting. They don't really have much of a structure to them, so they do feel kind of like not necessarily unfocused, but kind of like chopped around a little bit. And you don't get like the full context of all things. That's my biggest like issue with them. You don't get like the full. I wish there was some sort of intro, like this is the something institution, or this is so-and-so high school, and this is blah, blah, blah. And I think maybe a couple like in the moment interview sections would have been nice just to get to know like the subjects and all. But otherwise, they're really interesting documentaries, and they capture things like as raw and in the moment as they are. The first one he did, Titty Cut Follies, was apparently banned for 24 years after its release because people were like, they were so shocked by the conditions and treatment of these individuals in the institution. And so then after it got re-released, it was only allowed to be seen by industry professionals, like psychiatrists, psychologists, stuff like that. So kind of interesting. High School got better. I really liked it this time around more. Very relatable in a lot of sense. It's cool to see how much school has changed back then, but also how much it hasn't. And Law and Order was pretty interesting as well. I was expecting it to be a lot more problematic than it actually was. There are definitely scenes where you're like, ooh, that's not good. But then, you know, there are scenes where you're like, oh, wow, that's kind of nice. And same thing with Hospital. Really, really interesting to see the just people coming into the ER back in 1969 and how people were treated, how things were dealt with and all that. It's just, they're just really kind of fascinating documentaries. Kind of cool to watch. And so then after that, Frederick Wiseman mini binge, I watched the Maltese Falcon, which we will get into right now.
There you go.
So Maltese Falcon, it's been a noir I've wanted to see for some time now. And I actually just found out it was a directorial debut for John Huston, which I didn't know.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
It is pretty impressive, yeah. Because afterwards I was like, that was a pretty solid movie. And then I was like, oh, wow, a feature debut. Like, nice job, John Huston. So,
great script, by the way. Great fucking script.
Yeah. So it's based on a novel. And from what I read, it's very in touch with what the novel did. It's pretty much exactly like what the novel put forth. I think what I found most interesting about this movie was how like, not necessarily violent, but how like violent the performances were. Like, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know exactly.
Dude,
It's very like aggressive.
Spade
Yeah,
was
very
an
aggressive,
impressive
like-
man, dude.
Yeah, Humphrey Bogart, like Sam
Yeah,
Spade.
he was like really pulled all of his stops there.
Yeah, he was kind of a scumbag. Like it was like halfway through, and I was like, I don't know if I like this guy or not, but I can't stop watching it. It's so interesting.
Which is like a nice change of pace from what I feel like a lot of Hollywood movies or like old Hollywood movies did, right? Where it felt like the character would try to be likable, at least more so than this.
I mean, but that's what noir is. Noir is supposed to be. Always.
That's very true.
And I don't know, it's not like I've seen a lot of, especially like classic noir or anything.
I thought this movie was awesome. I thought it was really damn good.
Yeah, all of us liked it. I mean,
Yeah. I think what I was most impressed by was, well, like just the darkness and grittiness and how like unlikable the characters are, but also how like the subtlety in the dialogue and performances, in that you never really knew who was going to do what or what they were actually thinking.
So hard to follow. Right.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was like convoluted or anything, but it was like
It's just more like the minutia from scene to scene was a little hard to follow for me. Although, like overall, it's not a very complicated plot.
Yeah. Because like there were several times where I was like, wait, he just said something that completely contradicted something he said in a few scenes ago.
Right.
But then so I would rewind and I would be like, oh, okay. It's like you could tell he was lying. You could tell he was manipulating the truth and stuff just to get something out of it. You know, and lots of people do that because there's a lot of deception, a lot of betrayal, a lot of lying and such. And I think in the finale, when it all comes together, all of that turmoil happening amongst the characters was really, really cool.
Frickin' Whammon, dude.
What? What'd you say?
Frickin' Whammon, dude. You can't trust him.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. I thought the performances were really solid. I thought the direction was solid. I think the dialogue got a little weird at times, maybe a little too exposition heavy or a little too confusing.
I was thinking more just in terms of like how very clearly it is like both like it's set in the 40s and also it's set in like a sort of slang that's like, you know, I mean like sort of inherent to noir, and it's kind of hard to separate the two. Like, was this just a thing that people said in the 40s, or is this like a specific like noir innovation or what?
Right. There were a few lines I was like, I had to pause and look up. I was like, what the heck does this mean? Oh, okay, I see what he's saying. But yeah, I mean, I going back to like some of the stuff that kind of surprised and shocked me, like the scene where they drug Sam and the guy kicks out his knee and then kicks him in the head. I was like, holy crap!
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was incredible.
Fucking dark.
Yeah, and I think so. The ending. This was like the biggest moment that could have happened. So uh-oh moment. They're hinting at this romance between Mrs. O'Shaughnessy and Sam kind of throughout the movie, but you can kind of tell Sam is just playing the game, playing along just to see what happens for his own gain and all. But then there was a moment towards the end where I was like, oh no, are they actually gonna go full romance here and then ruin the ending?
No, screw you, women.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't think that would have. They didn't.
No, I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, this dude's totally gonna like just.
Yeah, I was like, if they're just gonna like do one of those big dramatic kisses and it's just gonna fade to, and I was like, oh, that's.
I'm turning you in.
But yeah, I was glad that he like kind of stood up and because if they had done that, the romance it wouldn't have made sense at all, really, in my opinion.
I see what you mean. I am definitely like glad that they made the decision that they did, but I don't know, like I wouldn't have been surprised or disappointed necessarily if they actually did kind of end up together.
I definitely because surprised, but I would have been pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
You killed
my
brother.
True. I guess there are so many movies from that era that just like have to end with that I'm just kind of used to it at this point.
Yeah, but like the way it's set up, I was really hoping it wouldn't. And then it almost did, but then it didn't. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, go Sam. Put her behind bars. But yeah. I also really like the last line. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
stuff dreams are
made.
made.
All of them are pretty good. Yeah. Was that the final line? Huh.
Well,
I do remember that for sure.
The very final line was the police officer going, huh? After he said that. But I mean,
it's a little less iconic.
Yeah, a little less iconic. Yeah. Oh, think of that. What was the best movie line of ending of all time? Huh? Oh yeah. Maltese Falcon. Love that one. But
I don't know. There's so many good ending movie lines. Like, I mean, that was pretty good, but I mean, fuck, man. There's so many good ones. I don't know. I'm thinking of the one with Denzel Washington, fucking Training Day. What a day. What a motherfucking day. End of Seven's fantastic, too. We had a whole discussion about that. It's a great
we did.
Line. I think we did, yeah.
Goodfellas ending line's pretty great, too.
Yeah. But I really liked the ending to this movie. Not only the line and not only that situation concerning the almost romantic ending, but just like you can tell that Sam's character is kind of like he has some things to think about. Has some things to think about now. You know, his certain consequences to his actions, and if someone does get out of jail, how's that going to come and bite back and all? And also like the whole affair he was having. He's got to deal with that, maybe. So I just thought there was a lot to think on after the movie ended too, which I really appreciated. And I thought it was a really solid movie, really well paced and well acted. Performances was really good. I love a good noir.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Blade Runner, baby.
That is
Blade Runner.
My favorite one.
So does anyone have anything to add?
I don't know, maybe Strange Days, but yeah, Blade Runner's definitely up there. Yeah.
Cinematography is pretty great. Same cinematography as Casablanca, or same cinematographer, which is pretty impressive.
You might not have noticed this, but same lead actor as Casablanca as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, these movies actually only came out a year apart.
Yep.
So yeah, Maltese Falcon.
You know, both of these movies were shot in black and white.
Oh yeah.
Did you know these movies are really old?
Both these movies are old.
Yeah.
Both these movies had great ending lines, such as I'm beginning to think this is the start of a beautiful friendship, and huh?
And huh? Yeah. Oh god, it gives me chills.
Such a good ending line. Chills down my spine.
All right. So I mean, if anyone doesn't have anything else to add, I guess we can go ratings.
I think this just might be my masterpiece.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. All right, so
All right.
Maltese Falcon, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10.
I'm with an 8 too.
I'm also with an 8.
Wow.
Hit. I'm a 7 out of 10.
Boo, come on,
God damn
Thomas.
it.
What the
I'm
heck
sorry.
is this?
I'm not gonna ruin my integrity for the joke.
Wasn't a joke.
Well, I
think
legitimately
decided
gave
on
it
this
an
before.
8, yeah.
Come
Well,
on.
no. I know, but like I was gonna give it a 7, and I'm not gonna back away
Right.
from my
Whatever.
No, that's fine.
integrity.
So,
Yeah, I'm sure
8
it's
to
fine,
7.
Colin. Yeah, it is.
That
fine.
is a 7.75 out of 10. Pretty solid.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, Maltese Falcon. Okay, with that, Noah, it is your pick. So what you got?
All right. So you have, collectively, by the way, 2 decisions you want to make. Decision number 1. Do you want to watch a movie that I like or a movie that I hate?
Ooh.
What the fuck?
Oh.
So we can either watch a movie that Noah and I will like, or a movie that Sebastian and
Okay,
Colin will
here's the
like.
thing. I think Collin at least will dislike this movie. I don't know that he'll hate it, but I think he'll definitely dislike it. Sebastian's kind of a wild card. He'll probably dislike it too.
You're talking about the one you like?
No, the
No.
one I hate. I don't think it's a good movie.
Oh, we're
it's
going
not
in.
one of. Huh?
We're going in. I want that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of with a movie you hate as well.
You know what?
Movie I
Why
hate?
not? Movie you hate.
Okay.
Movie you hate.
So I
yeah.
actually. Okay. So 2 or maybe 3 weeks ago, when I saw that Collin logged Safety Not Guaranteed, I was like, oh, I know what my next pick is.
Oh,
And
it's Book of Henry.
yeah.
Yeah, is
And
it?
then I was
Yeah.
like, yes, it is. It is Book of Henry.
Awesome.
And then
Oh no.
it was like, I'll give them the option in case they do not want to watch that.
What is this?
No, I'm excited now.
Book of Henry. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
Book of
I don't
Henry?
think I don't think you were there the day we
What
talked
the
about this.
fuck?
Yeah, because
I don't think.
kind
I
of
think
laid out the.
Yeah, someone was.
Book
and
of
someone was
Henry.
not.
What the fuck is this?
Do not. Okay, all 3 of you, do not read any reviews. Sebastian, stop. Like,
Well,
stop.
no,
right now.
I'm looking up like the.
Do not look at the Wikipedia.
plot.
No, close.
No,
Close.
no.
I'm not
like,
even kidding.
Christ.
Okay. All right.
Close it right now.
Okay,
Did you read the
I
plot
closed it.
description?
No, I didn't. I didn't even
Okay,
look at
okay.
anything. I just saw a
It-
picture of a kid with a fucking leather hat on.
Okay. Great. Yes. I mean, the basic outline, not even of just like the establishing thing. Okay, so first of all, directed by Colin Trevorrow, who I'm assuming everyone knows by this point.
Yeah.
It's basically like a child prodigy movie. Although, as it turns out, it gets into some weird twists and turns, which I think I did outline for.
You
Colin
did spoil a
Thomas.
few things, if I remember
Right.
correctly.
Although I don't know if either of you remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I remember the
don't-
conversation.
no.
I remember you talking about it, but
I remember, I think, one plot detail. I won't say it, but.
Yeah. I would just say try to watch it blind.
I just
Honestly,
remember you shitting on it. That's all I remember.
It's awful. I hate it. It's one of 2 movies that I both hate and think has made the world like a worse place for being in it, like
Holy
kind of
fuck.
arguably. Not necessarily like it's awful. It's just like no, I mean it is awful, and it's not necessarily like it's had a huge negative effect on the world. It's just like if I could like snap my fingers and make the movie disappear, like I would do it, no question.
Colin Trevorrow single-handedly has ruined our future with the Book of Henry.
That's not even what I'm saying. I'm just saying
I know, I'm
don't
just
think there's
making a
any
joke,
like
guaranteed.
positive impact that this film has had like whatsoever. I think anybody who likes it is just like, unless like in an ironic way,
Yeah.
it's just like evil. I mean, it's like
So what was the movie that you liked?
Yeah,
it would have been.
Are you saving that?
So, the second decision that I would have had you make would either have been, do you guys want to watch another film noir or a sort of noirish movie, but one that's like more of a crime movie than a like typical noir, more like a Coen Brothers knockoff sort of. But I like both of those movies. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I might. I don't know. The Long Goodbye and Wonder Boys would have been those 2 picks.
Okay.
Honestly, I might take one of them next time. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, I am definitely looking forward to the Book of Henry.
Yeah, that'll be
See.
interesting.
I don't know if we've
Oh, so
had
wait.
a collectively known bad movie pick yet. So.
And coming from Noah, it's the first one, isn't
Yeah.
that? Isn't
Yeah.
that just the?
But like I was saying, try not to spoil yourself at all. If you want to, honestly, just like watch it as soon as possible, just so that like you just watch it and have like a
Possible.
collective like psychotic moment.
All
But you
right.
can also like watch it on.
One of
YouTube,
us is
too.
gonna love it because like the ratings on Letterboxd are so all over the place.
It's
Like-
sort of like a Spielbergy type like knockoff, so I kind of get why people like it. And again, it's one of those movies that is like insane. Like it does not make any sense. It's crazy that it went through like no studio interference whatsoever. So I certainly see why a lot of people are like, haha, Cats, yes, I love it, you know.
Well, Cats has like a collectively low rating. This has like
It's true.
across the board. There's like 5,000 ratings at least for each.
Yeah, its rating spread is
Oh,
kind of
God.
diverse.
Yeah, it's really strange.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah, Cats is a 1.4. Like for reference, Cats like has 20,000 half stars, but and like 3,000 5 stars.
Okay.
This
I think it's honestly, it's sort of like a movie you can watch with your kids and be like, yeah, I guess that's fine. Like there's nothing super like graphic or anything in it. It's just just like every decision it makes. Oh God.
Well, yeah, especially after seeing Safety Not Guaranteed, I am interested to say the least.
It is
checking this out.
definitely his worst movie. I would be surprised if you liked it more. Well, you certainly be more enthralled by it than Safety Not Guaranteed.
Okay.
You know, this is gonna be an interesting one.
And I guess honestly, it does have better like on the level performances, like for sure, even with what they're working with.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
well, there we go.
Right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up the 39th episode of Post Pro Podcast. We watched and reviewed the Maltese Falcon, and next week we're going to be talking about the Book of Henry. All right. Until next time.